Attention, Baby Doge Army. This is absolutely amazing what is going on. So, we got some good news going on inside the Baby Doge Army. So, we're going to talk about that later. But first, hit the like button, subscribe. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of that is financial advice. But we're going to talk about Baby Doge here. So, the first thing that we'll discuss will be the current pricing of Baby Doge. Right now, we are down 2.6% today. Now, that doesn't matter because what's going on right now is amazing inside of Baby Doge, and this will probably help us long term. So we'll discuss that here. But $882,000 in the last 24 hours for our trading volume, that's pretty decent. Right now, currently, Baby Doge is down, but I will say generally everything down is inside of the market. Everything inside the market is down. So it doesn't really matter that Baby Doge is down because everything's down, right? So it's not that bad. It's not that bad. But what we are seeing here inside of Baby Doge is a slight decrease in the price. Like I said, we're probably going to be reaching 9Z9 very soon. And it's funny because if you look back here, the bottom of this candlestick, the red area here, pretty much shows where that support hit, right? But look at what just now happened inside of Baby Doge. The same thing actually just now happened, but the bottom of this candlestick now touched that support where once that little red line is. Now the red lines on the bottom of the candlesticks, it pretty much shows when you have a very sharp and steep drop in price, but it is immediately followed by some more buying or immediately followed by a price reversal. So it doesn't show the full candlestick. It just shows the line, right? So that means as soon as it dropped down here, it was immediately purchased. So it technically almost didn't even reach this technically, but it technically did. So they just showed the line right there, right? That's what that line means. And then the same thing here. You see all that selling and went close to the bottom of the momentum wave band. But look at how the actual candlestick touched that, right? And what this pretty much means is now, since that has happened, you see how the bottom of that line touched there, and then the candlestick eventually touched where the bottom of that line is. That means the next time we have a drop, it's going to drop to where the bottom of that line is, and it's going to create a candlestick that goes all the way down there. So that candlestick is pretty much going to drop down here to 9Z980. 9Z980. And for the people that aren't really sure what I'm talking about here, because we do have some new people here, it's 9 points after the decimals point and then 980. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 980. That's 9Z as in 9 zeros, 980. So 9Z980. That's what I'm talking about when I say that. So we are going to be eventually going down here to 9Z980, regardless of what happens inside of Baby Doge. This is going to happen. Now, what I will say is we are going to be getting something new coming into Baby Doge very, very soon. And that is going to be this. So inside of 2 days, we are going to be getting the Baby Doge AI generator, the AI image generator. So this is going to help with memes and stuff like that. It's going to help us promote the project a lot easier. The everyday person can now promote the project if they want to, right? And it's just by putting out a meme, it promotes the project. Shout out to the Baby Doge Army. But yeah, this is inside of 2 days. So we may see a drop within the next 2 days, and then we may see an increase in price, right? So that's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting us to probably drop to like 9Z980 in the next 2 days, and then it's probably going to be followed by an immediate increase in the price just because of that AI image generator. Now, what I was talking about before, what's so amazing right now, that's not necessarily what it was. So even though we are going down to 9Z980, and that is going to present a good buying opportunity, that is absolutely amazing. But what is absolutely amazing that we were mentioning before is this. So, dear Baby Doge Army, we need your vote if you want the 5 quadrillion burn to proceed. So this is the proposal. Now, only 140 people of the 2 million voters voted. We have 5 more days left to vote. Now, it's pretty important to look at what's going on here because now they also posted this. Currently, 97% have voted to postpone the burn, the 5 quadrillion burn. This means the burn will not happen and the vote ends in 7 days. They said that 2 days ago. Now, the reason why this is so important is because what we were talking about in the previous video, how everybody was mentioning, or not mentioning, but how everybody pretty much voted for the burn. But now if you look at it, you can see that the burn proposal to postpone it and to not do it is now at 63.88%. Whereas before it was at like not even at 1%. But now most people are saying postpone it. And that's amazing because that means the message is getting out to the community. So if we can actually work on this as a community and do its best for Baby Doge, that is absolutely amazing because what's best is really, contrary to popular belief, it's not to burn. Like burning does not help the price whatsoever. It doesn't affect the price positively or negatively. It actually does nothing if we want to be completely honest. One thing burning, I will say, does helps the price from going below a certain point because, well, those coins will forever be held. They can never be sold. So it keeps the price from dropping below certain points. But other than that, it doesn't really do much. And we already have a lot burned. And if we keep doing our auto burns like we're always doing with every transaction, then eventually it will be at 50%. So we can just let it build up with time. But what we are seeing right now is everybody, well, not everybody, but most people are voting to postpone it. So that's 1.6 quadrillion worth of Baby Doge has been voted to postpone it, which is 63.88% of the voters. Now, only 958 trillion people say to proceed with it, which is 36.12%. That's 958 trillion Baby Doge, which is 36.12%. So we're getting most people voting to postpone it. But the main thing that's happening here is a major whale. I called upon the whales and the whales have spoken. So I mentioned that, we need a major whale to help, get this done with, right? They need to help us with this. So we were now pretty much visited by a whale here with $1.6 million inside of Baby Doge. This is a whale that voted to postpone the proposal. This is huge. This is major. This is the biggest vote on the chain. This is amazing because we have a whale that is on the side of the people. So that's pretty cool to see. And as you can see, like this whale, they really haven't done any transactions since like 66 days ago, which were all sales of a million, billion, trillion, all sales of 9 trillion, which is about $9,000 per sale here. For 6,000 or 66 days ago, all the way to 97 days ago. So they were strategically selling about $9,000 worth of Baby Doge, and that's pretty smart because if you look at where Baby Doge's price has been within the last 60 to 90 days, it's actually been down. So let's go ahead and search that right now because this person sold at a very good time. It's right around the time that I sold them, so I might be the whale. No, I'm playing. I'm not the whale. Hey, if I had $1.6 million, you'd probably see me on a yacht somewhere, you know. But anyways, let's go ahead and look at this last 90 days. So 90 days ago, where was Baby Doge? Yep, Baby Doge was all the way up here at 1.6. So that shows you like this person, they sold out at a good time. They got some profit out of it. So it was a little bit more than $9,000. Now it's worth around $9,000. But they strategically sold, and they before that they strategically bought 2 quadrillion, and they strategically bought 500. About 2 quadrillion. So that's very good. Million, billion, trillion, quadrillion. So they this whale is very, very active, as you can see, but this is one of the largest Baby Doge whales out there, and they voted to postpone it. So that's the big thing just to know. Like they look, they got in with a bunch of Baby Doge at the beginning of the project 838 days ago. And then you can see they sold like 280 days ago, which was closer towards the peak of Baby Doge. So like this whale knows when to get out and they know when to get in. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So yeah, um, they definitely made a good call here. It looks like when they sold, they might have sold somewhere around this area here. That's what it's looking like. But yeah, that doesn't really matter. But what does matter is the fact that we have a whale that's on our side. Now, this whale, the wallet is ending in 02F, and they're at 1.6 million. And the reason why I say that is I just want to see where are they inside of the list for Baby Doge holders. Because you can see they have 1.686 quadrillion worth of Baby Doge. So let's just see where they are. 1.686 quadrillion. So yeah, this is them right there. They're the number 15 whale here. They are number 15 for the whale. The number 15 whale is voting with the people. They're voting with the people, and they want to go ahead and postpone they want to go ahead and postpone that burn. Now, if this whale is watching this, what I would say is you should make a proposal, because we need like 100 trillion baby Doge inside of a wallet to even make a proposal. And we would never be able to do that ourselves because I'm broke, I can't do that. But yeah, shout out to this whale. But what I will say next is, if you could, you should make a proposal for us to get rid of the 10% tax, because I see you hold on a DeFi exchange, which means you're losing 10% every single buy and sell. Now, I'll also say this: getting rid of the 10% tax it could hurt and it could help the projects, like as a community, with doing humanitarian work for animals and all that good stuff. So what I would say is maybe just reduce tax. I think we should have a proposal to reduce it to like 3%, maybe less, or we can start at 5%, right? We can do 3 or 5%, but I think that would be better than having a 10% burn. So I think instead of just getting rid of it altogether, because I know we do have to do good as a community, and in order to do that, we would need that money. But yeah, I think 3 to 5% would probably be good, right? So I think that would be that would probably be the best. It would probably be best to have 3 to 5%. And I guess what we can go ahead and do is I just want to kind of explain to people like where the money is going. Like the money isn't just going in the trash. It's not just going, like, we do have burns, right? We have auto burns, which I think it is good to have auto burns because eventually it's gonna burn a lot of coins. So I think the auto burn is also pretty good. But we could still reduce our taxes here without, without all the nonsense. And I think what we have to, or what we should do, not have to do, but what we should do is get rid of the reflections. I know reflections are cool and all, but let's be honest, they're extremely small for most holders. Most holders don't hold that much, so it's like it's almost non-existent for us. But what I would say is here, look, 5% of each transaction is added to the liquidity pool, which is actually pretty good, and then 5% of each transaction is distributed to holders. Now, one of those holders being the burn wallet, which is why we get burns, because technically it's a holder because it is a wallet. So like when you look at it and you just refresh the page here, you can see automatically there's coins that are sent to the burn wallet. Now it takes a little bit because our volume is pretty low, so it's going to take a little bit to actually show some of the burns here, but you'll eventually see more burns flowing in, but you won't necessarily see the transactions lining up with the increase inside of the burn wallet. And that's because those are auto burns, so they don't show as actual transactions. That's something that's put into the contract for Baby Doge. So you won't actually see transactions when these auto burns come through, but you will see the amount of coins increasing. So that means technically this is a holder, but it's a burn wallet. So like nobody has the keys to it, obviously. But 5% is redistributed to this for burns according to how much they're holding. So it's 5% of. So you see actually it just now changed. It went from 9918 to this number here, but you don't see any transactions that just happened because that's an auto burn. And I just kind of wanted to break that down so then some of the Baby Doge Army people can understand here. And I think I'm going to do like more videos about this where I educate people more on like crypto concepts here, because I think that's the important thing. And I'll do it without insulting people. I know the last video I was aggravated because people were calling me a scammer, so I was pretty much going at those people that called me a scammer and breaking it down, calling them stupid for calling me a scammer. That's just that. But what we are talking about now here, the 5% of each transaction distributed to the holders, where 5% also goes to the burn wallet, and then the 5% is added to liquidity. So I understand a lot of people joined Baby Doge, right? Because they wanted to have 5% reflections, right? They wanted to have this passive income thing. That's also a thing that interested me about this. But I think instead what we should do is 1.5% of each transaction to liquidity pool, and then 1.5% of each transaction distributed to holders. And then that would also mean a 1.5% burn because it's one of the holders. That's why I broke that down before. So that's 1.5% of each transaction going to liquidity pool and 1.5% of each transaction going to the holders. I think as a community, we need to vote for this as a proposal to reduce taxes to 3% total. And that's 1.5% there, 1.5% there. So 3% total, and then have it still broken down like how it is now, so we don't get away from the core area of where Baby Doge is. And then another proposal here that we could also implement: 1% for the liquidity pool, 1% to the holders, and then 1% to donations, or 0.5% to donations, like, for animal shelters and stuff like that, and then 0.5% to marketing. So that would be 3% total: 1% to liquidity pool, 1% to holders, 0.5% to donating, and 0.5% to marketing, for a total of 3%. That's also another really cool one. Now, I do know there is a marketing wallet, I believe, and then some of it's distributed back to the marketing wallet. But I think we could suffer a little bit and just put 0.5% to marketing, 0.5% to donating, to help the project grow and to help with the humanitarian efforts of Baby Doge. So I think that would be cool. So just to kind of break that down again, either we can do 1.5% to the liquidity pool, 1.5% to holders, with that burn being one of the holders. So 1.5% liquidity, 1.5% holders with the burns. Or we can do 1% to liquidity, 1% to holders, 0.5% to marketing, and 0.5% to donations. So I think those are two proposals that we should definitely look towards. And hey, if that whale is watching, like, I think that's a good proposal to make if you want to do a proposal like that. I think that would really help out the project a lot. Now, it does help to have a lot more liquidity. I will be completely honest there. So yeah, it would affect our liquidity more. So that is one thing if you want to look at it like that. But it's still a possibility. We can also do 6%, right? And do 5% still being added to liquidity, and then 1% going to holders and burn. So that's also another option, 6%. But I think something a little bit lower, just to work down that tax amount, is a lot. Because if you think about it, if someone lives in California, which there are a lot of BBDOs people that live in California, you're paying 13.8% to California taxes, and then for state, or for federal taxes, if you're in the U.S., then you're also paying, like, depending on what tax bracket you're in, you can be paying all the way up to 38%, just based off your tax bracket if you're like a high earner. And then that's already 50% of your money down the drain right there. And then if you got Baby Doge, you're paying 10% when you sell it, 10% when you buy it. And then when you also think about it, capital gains tax is pretty high as well, which would be your income tax if your, like, income is, trading. But if your income isn't trading, you're paying your income taxes, and then you're also paying the high capital gains tax on top of that. So it's like all your money is going to taxes. And that's why I think the fight to, like, reduce taxes for Baby Doge is so important, just to get it down to a reasonable amount. I think, me personally, I think the 3% one makes a lot of sense, but because of where we started, I think the 4% one, or possibly just making it 5%, to be completely honest. And I know I keep switching it, but yeah, let's just say it was a 5% tax, right? And 1.5% for liquidity, 1.5% for burns and holders, and then 1% for donations, and 1% for marketing. That would be good, 5% burn, and then you just have it broken down like that. So that would be really good. But anything other than 10, but I'll still stay in Baby Doge even if it is 10, because that's how we started. And yeah, it's definitely still good. I still like the project. I still like the community. Shout out to the Baby Doge Army. But yeah, this is definitely amazing that we're getting this postponed, because let's just be honest, like, if we pulled out of liquidity and burned that, our price would immediately drop. If we took that money out of the liquidity, it would immediately drop. It'd be similar to someone with $1 million, well, more than $1 million, selling Baby Doge. Like, it would be similar to them selling all of their Baby Doge, which would cause the price to drop, because it would be a huge transaction coming out of the liquidity. It's the exact same thing. So it's definitely good that, well, the only difference is then the money would go into the burn wallet. So technically it could increase again. But then it would cause fear and FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And then people will sell because of the quick drop followed by the increase. Because when you pull it out of liquidity, it's going to drop. When you put it back into the burn wallet, it might go back up a little bit. And then people will just sell because it'll be fear and uncertainty and doubt. So yeah, that's just another aspect of that. But yeah, I think we're doing pretty good here in Baby Doge as a community. It does look like we just now dropped a little bit in price here, but that just shows on CoinGecko. It doesn't show everywhere else. But yeah, doing pretty good here. As for Baby Doge Swap, we're at 36.97K inside of 24-hour trading volume. That's good. Liquidity, $13.48 million. That's good as well for Baby Doge Swap. It's decent. It's not really good. Let's be honest. It's decent, but it's not really good. We need to have more farms here, more core farms. So I think eventually they will add back on more core farms. Eventually. Maybe not now, but maybe eventually later on in the future. They probably will eventually add on some core farms. But yeah, I don't really care about earning while team swap. I'm gonna be completely honest. I'd rather earn Baby Doge inside of the rewards. So yeah, more core farms is definitely a much needed thing as well. So I guess I'll keep making videos like this where I speak for the community and what the community wants, because I'm just relaying things that the people said they want and that I also think are good for us as well. So because someone else mentioned instead of a zero, because I was saying 0% tax, but then someone else mentioned it should be 3% tax in the comments, and I'm like, you know what? That's actually a pretty good distribution of it. And you know who you are who mentioned the 3% tax, but they mentioned it, and I'm like, that's a good, that's good because we started with the tax, and it actually helps the project grow with the tax. So I think that's still good. It's still a good thing to have the tax. So yeah, shout out to the community, because without community we would be nothing. And then for all the people are saying like Baby Doge is a scam coin, Marsellis is promoting a scam coin, blah blah blah. I'm not promoting anything. I don't work for Baby Doge. They've actually even said it in the Telegram group before. They said Marcellus has no affiliation with Baby Doge. I mean, I don't know what more proof y'all need. I'm not getting paid from Baby Doge or anything like that. And yeah, 100% honest with Baby Doge as well. Like when I talk about it, like I even mentioned in the video yesterday, like I sold most of my Baby Doge. I hold almost none right now because I'm not going to say I know, because I can't say that because I'm not a financial advisor and none of this is financial advice. But I'm extremely confident that as the bull market or as the bear market goes on before the next bull market actually starts, I'm extremely confident that I could get back in around 9Z97 or 9Z98 or 9Z99. I know I can, or I'm extremely confident that I can get around there. I'm not saying that everyone else can, but it's because I'm doing the technical analysis. I'm watching where the price is going, and I kind of, well, I won't say I 100% trade for a living, because I also do like different stuff. Like y'all see, I get a little bit of income off of YouTube, like $100 a month, which is like nothing. This month is like $85, then I'm not gonna get paid from YouTube. So I really get almost nothing from making these videos. I just kind of do them because I really am a big fan of crypto and Baby Doge in general, and all these other different cryptos I talk about. I think crypto is the future, so that's why I do these videos. And then, like, I have a travel channel that does like $10 a month, so it's like no money at all. So most of my money, if I'm going to be completely honest, will be coming from trading, and that's why I'm watching this. I'm like, look, I I'm extremely confident that we're going to go down to 9Z7, but I'm not saying that we 100% will, because I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. But that's pretty much where I'm waiting to buy back in on. And that's why I said I'm fully transparent with Baby Doge. So I will be buying back in sometime around this. I just gotta wait for that. And like I said, the Bitcoin bull market around next year is going to be April 26, 2024. That's going to be where the Bitcoin halving is. So leading up to that, we could start the rise, or we could start the rise after that. So sometime around that time is going to be pretty much what I'm looking for. So, anyways, this is pretty much all I got for you all today. Let me know what you think about this. Let me know what you think about the tax proposals I mentioned. And yeah, let me know what you think about Baby Doge in general. Anyways, shout out to the Baby Doge Army. Go ahead, hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't done that yet. And as always, I'll be back with another video.